Alrighty then. Hey guys, how's it going today? We're going to be playing some Stardew Valley. I, of course, have the clay farming pattern for 1.6 figured out. Unfortunately, I don't have my face cam on right now, like I did for my 1.5, but we're just going to go ahead and give some backstory here. So 1.6 came out yesterday. I didn't have a whole lot of time to play it yesterday. I also had to vote today, so it was also my birthday yesterday. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't have a whole lot of time to play. Anyway, managed to get my hands on 1.6 today. Was really saddened by the fact that Legacy Randomization doesn't actually work for Xbox. You can't use the bunny method anymore, but I did figure it out. So for those of you guys that are actually concerned about it, let me go ahead and pull open my monitor capture. Here you go. This is the grid. This is what we're using, and this is all you need. Yeah, if anybody's confused by this, I will go ahead and explain it. So, Legacy Randomization does not currently work on Xbox. At least it's not the same pattern that it used to be. The bonus is that we actually get a piece of clay every single time, and there are only a couple of instances where this might end up being an issue for some people, so I'll go ahead and explain what the pattern is. For the grid that I showed, it basically, it was really dumb. I started figuring it out, and then as soon as I had like 10 things plotted, I ended up getting the pattern. So you go until you find your first piece of clay right here like normal, and you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, skipping every other. 15 is here, 16 is over here. Now, I have already been messing around with the save quite a bit, so I know that on this particular day, starting off farming in that particular spot, I know 15 exists here. However, if you're not entirely sure if you're on the pattern or not, it resets every 28 to every 14 hits. So it resets every 42nd time, which means that instead of hitting this, if I were to hit this another 28 times, it would set me on the off pattern and would only give me one line of clay. However, if I hit it 42 times, it would give me the actual pattern again. So since I know that I'm on pattern, I could hit 15 directly beneath his door. Instead, I'm going to show you how to get back on pattern right away because I don't really feel like needing to do the entire thing over again. So, if we are perhaps off pattern, we can check that by taking care of this and then hitting it again. Because if you're off pattern, your 15th piece of clay will be right there. Then you start your pattern, so you would pickaxe every single one of these, and then you count all the way up to 15, ending off with this square right here. But we're on pattern, so hypothetically, we hit this one at 15, we come all the way back over here, and then if you were paying attention to the grid earlier, 16 is right here, 17, 18, 19, we go all the way down to 30, and we should end up one up and one to the left of where 15 was. Since we didn't hit 15, it's going to be kind of floating above nothing, so realistically, 15 would have been here, this is 30. Now we come all the way back here again. We've done the pattern. We're going to go back to one up and one left. And we're going to go all the way up to 45 pieces of clay by going through all of this. We're actually not going to have 45 because, of course, I bungled the one just to show how to reset the pattern if you guys are off. But that's literally all you have to do is just go back and hit that exact same spot again. It's just a safety check to make sure that you're on pattern. If you know you're on pattern, you have to worry about it. It does get to the point where if you start off on pattern and you go up above 100 pieces of clay, for some reason it kind of disappears, but I have a solution for that as well. So I'm just going to show you guys the pattern working as intended. We're going to go all the way up to at least 105, doing 15 a piece. And then I'll show you guys the fact that it kind of gets a little bit messed up. I don't understand the way that it shifts across the map because it does kind of reset. And there are times where I'll think that I'm on it and it'll only give me like 3. In those instances, I go back to where my starting position was and I go one up and one to the left and I hit it a bunch of times because that will reset you 12 lower in the pattern and you'll be able to get back on pattern a little bit faster. So for instance, if I go down, if I get all the way to 104 currently with the generation that I have on the map, so we've got 6 lines, so we're up to 90 right now. 104 exists here, 105 exists here, and then I think 106 exists here, but then 107 doesn't exist. I do know that 1030 or 130. 130 resets about right here. But if you end up getting the messed up version where you stop getting clay, just come back to where the next line would be. Start off here, and it'll be fewer hits until you actually find the pattern again. But we're going to keep going. That one doesn't exist, so we're just going to smack there. All right. So we're up to 105, right? 2, 4, 6. Yep. We're going to come back here. And now is when the pattern starts getting kind of messed up. So I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to go until this resets. Because this one should reset around 130. It's not going to take me too much energy to get back into it. But you guys see the pattern, how it ends up working. It's fantastic compared to what it was in 1.5. I don't have it 100% figured out. But as long as you're starting off with a good block to begin with on the 14 or 28, then you're good to go. And you'll be able to get at least 90. And then this one should reset around my 130th hit. So we'll show you guys being able to get back on pattern if it happens to get messed up. Should end up hitting it fairly soon. I'm not actually counting. There you go. Get that. And then we'll come back here. I'll show you guys the safety check for this pattern. So realistically, my final hit for this would be over here. That would be my 15th while on this pattern, but I'm going to try to play this one safe. I'm going to come back to where I started this one, right here, pickaxe it, hit it again. I didn't get anything out of it, so I know that that was my 15th. 16th is here, all good to go. And you can actually reset the pattern again, because sometimes it just doesn't go up to where it was. So if you ever hit 16 and you missed it, it's because the pattern has already reset. So rather than hitting here, I'm just going to be careful, come back here, and double check that this spot is actually still the pattern going to continue. I hit it again, so that actually I would not have gotten 16 out of this. Instead, 15 was here, so now I'm going to come back through, reset all of these, and I know for a fact that I'm back on pattern properly. So once I've hit all of these, I can come back through, know that I'm on pattern, hit all the way up through 16, and be perfectly fine. So I know that this is here, and since I had to reset off of that, I know that I am good to go across this entire span here. And then I'll go and hit that messed up there, so I'm going to come all the way back here. It's a little bit finicky. And then this one should reset fairly soon. And then I can keep going from right here. If it ever stops, it seems to come back to where you want it to be, all the way back at the beginning, fairly quickly. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave that one as a safety one. I'm going to come back and re-hit where I started again. I don't get clay out of it, which means 16 is up here. And then we keep going across this row. So it's not too difficult to get back on pattern with this one, but once you're off of it, it can be a little bit confusing if you haven't done a whole lot of playing around with it. So I've eaten 3 salads. I've gotten 170 clay out of this. So easy, huge amounts of profit. And yeah, so that's clay farming on 1.6. If you guys happen to want to test this out, I know Switch originally shared 1.5's clay farming. PlayStation, I would guess, probably doesn't. If anybody tells me that it doesn't, I might just break out my dad's old PS3 and figure that one out. But I hope this ends up helping you guys in your playthroughs. And it would have helped me a ton in my first one because I was going to go for chickens. I might still be able to get it. But anyway, have a good one.